Welcome to Alchemy Wizard. I'm Tom. Today I want to talk about safety concerns with the various ways of making colloidal nanoparticles. I make it look easy here, whether I'm doing low voltage electrolysis, or I'm doing plasma arc, or I'm doing with the lasers. But some of these practices are not easy, and some of them are quite dangerous. So, the easiest and the best way for most of you to get involved in colloidal nanoparticles that want to begin making them is to use the low voltage electrolysis method with the low voltage power supply, the wires, and the chemicals. The other method, plasma arc, which I also show people, is mostly for demonstration purposes. High voltage AC is dangerous. You can get burned by it if you don't know what you're doing. And are the colloidals that much better? It's debatable, really. There's pros and cons on the whole thing, whether you're cooking colloidals with plasma arc or you're cooking colloidals with low voltage DC. To be perfectly honest, I've had them both, and to me there doesn't seem to be the significant difference between upgrading from low voltage DC to plasma arc, just because maybe you don't want to use some sodium citrate in your fluid, or you want a little bit cleaner substances. So in that respect, I would say if you have limited experience, especially in high voltage AC stuff, I would say let's just skip the high voltage AC route and stick with low voltage DC, especially if it's your first time doing this stuff. Don't go for the high voltage AC. The other thing I talked about here and showed was the laser setup. That also was mostly for demonstration purposes, just to see if we could do it, to be perfectly honest. The 4 lasers concentrated into one tiny spot is quite dangerous to the eyes. You have to be really careful with the right glasses and make sure you don't screw up, or you're going to mess up your eyes. To be honest, in the future, the nanoparticles created by the laser setup are around 100 nanometers, and they're really not very useful in a sense for biological properties. I have to experiment with how we can make those nanoparticles less, but without more potent lasers, in which case now we're looking at even more dangerous stuff with using lasers. I don't know if that's possible. Now, there was a suggestion, and I like the suggestion of using a 3D laser etching system. The lasers there are a little bit more powerful, and the safety is, the range of the lasers is, and the safety concerns are a little bit better addressed than my rig that I made. So that might be a viable way in the future to create colloidal nanoparticles with lasers. I'm looking into funding of that. If I can get the money together to get a laser etching machine in here, it might be a way to create laser nanoparticles without so much of the danger of the bright laser light from the 4 laser pointers. So this is just my advice. I get many questions on people on starting new stuff and starting a rig, and I don't want to convince you. Don't need to do all of these processes to make colloidal nanoparticles. To get started in colloidal nanoparticles, I recommend low voltage DC, and you stick with that for at least a year before you want to move on to other methods of making colloidal nanoparticles. You really need to understand electricity, you need to understand chemicals, and then maybe you can move on to other methods. And that's all I wanted to say today. I'm Tom, Alchemy Wizard. I'll talk to all of you again soon.